Hi, Nicole. Good evening. I hope you're great. I hope you're doing this class. So today we're going to start with the class, and we're going to watch a video at the end because what we finally, I'm sorry. Okay. So because we finally are almost at the end of the course, right? And we have to see some examples about how to write your essay, your paragraph. And we're going to see a short video about how to construct a paragraph. In a second, I was doing some things. And my desk is at 30 minutes. So we have to do, we have to take care. At the moment, we're going to write our paragraph. We have to take, and it's in the last class, where we have to take some, we have to be careful, right? Cautious with at the moment that we're going to write. So we're going to check for some mistakes, right? But we're going to watch the common mistakes, right? So it's about how to avoid the most common mistake, and then we're going to continue with the part, right?
Welcome. What we're going to be looking at in this video today is we're going to be looking at common mistakes that a lot of students will make in their essay writing. So what we're going to go through is trying to go through all those mistakes. Try and make sure that you don't make the same ones in your essay writing. Okay, so, and most of these are very easily remedied as well. So I'm not going to go so much into things like grammar and spelling so much, because those are things which will take practice and really effort on your part to eliminate your writing. It requires a lot of practice and a lot of writing particularly to ensure that you can get out of the habit of doing this. What we'll go through is just some simple solutions to the ones that are easily remedied, to go through some strategies to make sure that you have the right kind of mindset for writing an essay. Okay, so the first mistake that quite often I see is informal writing. In an essay, it is inappropriate virtually at all times to write in informal. And the main reason for this is that informal terms are often indefinite, which means it's assumed knowledge or assumed meaning, which means that a lot of informal writing refers to things like cultural language, which is all well and good if you are speaking to someone here. But if you're speaking to someone overseas who doesn't quite understand the way that we talk, it's very, very difficult for them to pick up what it is you're talking about. Or it goes into sorts of vague details, which you often do when you're speaking in conversation, and doesn't really talk about things specifically, which could make your argument a lot better anyway. So for instance, writing, well, that's just the way it goes, that doesn't really have any specific meaning. So you need to actually replace that with some sort of specific detail and go, okay, well, what does that mean? I mean, if I read that and go, that's just the way it goes, what goes? By finding more specific details that you can use, as in you talk about a language technique or you talk about a reason which is developed in a text, then you're actually going into much more detail than just simply saying, oh, that's it, that's all right. So really just try and think about having some more specific details, using things what's called the Queen's English, which means English by all of its rules and by all of the ways that you see written in academic language in textbooks. So if you have a look at your textbooks for your different subjects, most of those will be written in formal English. And the reason for that is not just so they can be proper school books, but because of the fact that it gives you specific information, which means that you can refer to them and you can use those books as a resource rather than something that someone's just said, which is mostly true, but has these little vague points which are very hard to get. So by writing in that sort of style, you're making sure that everyone can understand everything that you're writing is true. The way that you're putting your answer together is airtight and it's much stronger.
So that will be everything about the video. Now we're going to continue with the last part of the explanation. So, okay. I really hate internet and everything is so wrong. Okay, so then we go. Okay, so I'm going to show my screen visually. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if you can see it. All right, very fine. Okay. So we're going to see for this word correction. Okay. So we're going to learn in this page includes a standard word correction. Sample input uses samples to highlight key mistake in the student's work. Okay. So I'll just let this practice. No. This is dead. No. All right. So we're going to focus on the thesis statement. Okay. Then we're gonna watch this video. Okay. So I want to repeat again. This is only about the thesis statement. Okay, not more. Not we don't have interaction because we already learned how to do it. Okay.
Academic thesis statement. So, what is a thesis statement? A thesis is the main idea of your essay and it includes your stance, sometimes referred to as a plea. A good thesis statement will direct the structure of your essay and will allow the reader to understand the ideas to be discussed within your paper. A thesis is usually stated in the opening paragraphs of a paper, most often in the last sentences of the introduction. Overall, a thesis should include the words in your essay question, if you've been given one, the key topics in the main body of the essay, and your stance. So before I begin, I'd like to make a disclaimer that there is no one way to write a thesis statement, but this video and structure will help lower level academic English students or students who are new to academic writing to identify the key components of a thesis statement for an argumentative essay. So let's begin with the basic introduction structure. Now, an introduction usually consists of 4 key parts or sections. The first section is a general statement. This introduces the general topic and background and provides a reason for the argument or controversy. The second section is a specific statement. This is the main topic or key information on this topic. The next section is usually the thesis. This should also increase for your opinion. This could be to what extent you agree. Often the thesis will also include words from your essay question if you've been given one. The final section is the outline. This is the general structure of the essay. Now, it's important to note that the thesis and the outline can be combined together. Okay, so let's focus on the thesis statement. I will do this by providing an example of an introduction paragraph, and we'll analyze it together. So before I show the introduction paragraph, let's look at the essay question on corporate social responsibility, or the acronym CSR. The question says, corporate social responsibility is an important consideration for business. Do you agree? Here is the introduction paragraph example to the essay. I'd like you to pause the slide and identify the thesis. Okay, right. So now let's think about what key elements a thesis statement should contain. So a thesis statement should include the words from the essay question, the key topics in the main body of the essay, and your stance. So we're going to identify those parts now. First, let's identify the words from the essay question. Please pause the video and look for these. Okay, here they are. The main topic, which is corporate social responsibility, is here as CSR, and the topic reference it. An important consideration for business is here paraphrased as a top priority. And the word business is here as business, SMEs, which means small to medium enterprises, and here large corporations. Okay, moving on. Now let's look for the key topics which will be in the main body of the essay. Again, please pause the video and identify these topics. Okay, here they are: reputation, investment, and profitability. The reader would expect these three key topics to be the main paragraphs in the body of the essay. Finally, let's look for the stance or the opinion in the thesis statement. Again, pause the slide and identify this or these. Okay, here it is. It may not always be possible, and it should be a top priority. These are the two main opinions or stances of the author. The reader would expect these opinions to be clarified. Okay. For the acronym CSR. The question says, corporate social responsibility is an important consideration for business. Do you agree? Here is the introduction paragraph example to the essay. I'd like you to pause the slide and identify the thesis. Okay, hopefully you have identified it here. Right, so now let's think about what key elements a thesis statement should contain. So a thesis statement should include the words from the essay question, the key topics in the main body of the essay, and your stance. So we're going to identify those parts now. First, let's identify the words from the essay question. Please pause the video and look for these. Okay, here they are. The main topic, which is corporate social responsibility, is here as CSR, and the topic reference it. An important consideration for business is here paraphrased as a top priority. And the word business is here as business, SMEs, which means small to medium enterprises, and here large corporations. Okay, moving on. Now let's look for the key topics which will be in the main body of the essay. Again, please pause the video and identify these topics. Okay, here they are. reputation, investment, and profitability. The reader would expect these three key topics to be the main paragraphs in the body of the essay. Finally, let's look at the stance or the opinion in the thesis statement. Again, pause the slide and identify this, all these. Okay, here it is. It may not always be possible, and it should be a top priority. These are the two main opinions or stances of the author. The reader would expect these opinions to be clarified and justified throughout the main body of the essay, and again repeated in the conclusion. Okay, I hope that helps in demonstrating how a thesis statement is organized. Now we'll analyze the sentence structure of the thesis statement, and I'll suggest alternative ways it can be written. So in our introduction example, we used although to separate the two sentences as shown here. One alternative way to rewrite this thesis is that we can use however with slight changes to the punctuation as shown here. Now, it is also possible to use despite with slight changes to the grammar as shown here. And of course, as mentioned in the beginning of the video, the thesis and the outline can also be combined together as shown here. Generally, there are many ways to write a thesis statement, but you must include the key components I have discussed in this video. If you would like more information or practice on thesis statements, please go here. Or for more information on all aspects of academic writing, then please go here. Thank you for listening.
Because it is linked with the other part of the video, right? With the other part of the explanation. So it's necessary to watch it one more time. No, not one more time. Well, I'm not talking about the same video, right? But it is linked with the topic sentence, right? With the topic, the definition, you know. So, okay, something is happening. Nothing with this. Okay, give me a second. I don't know what's going on with my computer. I guess I have many pages open, so then I can see it. Alright. Okay. Start with that we need to take the English form.